We've been hired here at the Fresno Chaffee Zoo, a really great zoo that's experienced a rebirth over the last 15 years due to community funding. And there's more construction going on to make it even better than ever. A construction zone is an excellent place to find, unfortunately, to find distressed trees, and an excellent place to show you how to perk them up and increase their vitality and make it so when we come to spring, they take off growing. I'm John Valentino. I'm a landscape contractor and a landscape architect, and we have been working for over 40 years, and we've perfected a method of reviving trees and plants that we've used a lot at this zoo, and we'll show you examples of that. Usually Chip Valentino is with me, but he and other dogs are not allowed at the zoo out of fear of being eaten by a lion. But Chip, we hope to make a part of this video anyhow, and he will be with us on ongoing videos. So the first thing we're going to do, since there's so many trees here, is determine which are the most important to address with these special recipes for maximizing soil and tree health. You can see at this zoo, for instance, there's a Chinese elm that's very chlorotic looking, had a lot of extensive digging going on around it, so we will identify that needs help. There's also lots of trees with damage to them, sometimes physical damage, and even though the best way to protect trees in construction zones is to keep the roots protected from all the way inside the tree canopies, a lot of times in construction zones that isn't adhered to very carefully, and you'll see that here in some cases where there's compaction going right up on next to the tree. So we're going to assess, first thing we're going to look at is trees that are struggling, and you can tell it by outward appearance. Second thing we're going to look at is trees that might struggle because you can see all kinds of compaction and maybe protection that isn't up to snuff, and we're not protecting them as well as we can. And then evaluate the most important trees in these upcoming exhibits, and then we'll treat those. So in this case, today we're treating 12 specific trees that they've selected to try to maximize health of the soil and health of the tree. And we can do that by looking at the top of the tree. Many times that'll tell us we can see damage to the trunk, we can see damage to the limbs, or we can see potential damage that we're pretty sure is going to happen just because there's so much going on in the root zones and lots of compaction all around it. Trees hate compaction over the root zones. So when you see a declining tree in your garden, I like to keep it very simple, and I frequently tell people it's one of two things, although these are very broad categories and it's an ultra simplification. It's either problems with the soil or problems with water. And in this case, we've probably got both issues going on here, but what we want to do in order to address both is first make sure we infuse this soil with life, and that's a real key to addressing the soil part. That's what makes healthy soil is lots of life in the soil. That's beneficial bacteria, beneficial fungi, good nematodes, good protozoa. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to target these trees that we think need help, and we're going to infuse that soil with life. Not only life for the soil, but we're also going to infuse it with nutrients that the trees can use themselves, slow releasing nutrients that will make it so these trees, from a soil standpoint and a nutrient standpoint, have everything they need to thrive. They are not necessarily all sick trees, but they're trees in some jeopardy because of the conditions of the construction and all the things going around. If any of these tree issues or even similar plant issues resonate with you and you have similar problems, let us know in the comments. So our own recipe for feeding the tree and the soil maximum nutrients is built around 4 of our products. And so we'll use blend. Blend is a pre-mixed, proportionally mixed 3 products together, and those products are Optimize, Maximize, Nourish, Biosol. So those products together will not only feed the plants, but even more powerfully they feed the soil. And I like this combination of feeding the trees and the plants at the same time as we're feeding the soil. It also allows these plants and trees to take up these nutrients much more easily. So we're infusing the soil with life. We're also infusing the soil with food for life, attractants for life. And so that application of blend does all kinds of beneficial things for the soil. And then products like the Nourish Biosol, which are in blend, not only it's dried mycelium, which is the bloom of cultured soybean meal and cottonseed meal. That bloom is fantastic at feeding microbes, important beneficial soil microbes, but it's also great at feeding the trees and the plants themselves. High in macronutrients, high in micronutrients. So we've got a combination of products here that's going to feed the trees and feed the soil, put them in a position to thrive. And that's really what we're after here at the zoo, so that these trees can recover from these stressful conditions. After we use the blend, you'll see Paco and Jorge here applying Penetrate Liquid Biotiller, which is our liquid product, and it goes right over the top of the blend. It's beneficial bacteria and also a lot of food for all kinds of microbes. It has kelp, it has saponin, it's got a number of things in it, and it's excellent at immediately improving penetration in these compacted areas, and also excellent at kind of kick-starting this process of building beneficial life, and then put other higher life forms and food for higher life forms. So the effect is now we've got the lowest form of life in soil, and we've got higher life forms and food for higher life forms. They'll feed on that bacteria, and we've got this process in place that really is the soil food web to build more complex life. And that's our end goal. We don't want just bacteria, we don't want just fungi, we want complex life. That's what makes really healthy soil, and that's what makes really healthy plants. In our area here in Fresno, we haven't had much rain lately, but we're expecting a good-sized storm on Sunday and Monday. Today is Wednesday, and so in a few days we're expecting rain. This is a very opportune time to apply our products because a lot of the zoo is watered with drip irrigation. And drip irrigation isn't the best at incorporating our products. So in your gardens and many gardens, particularly in the West, that are focused on drip irrigation because of water conservation, it really makes sense to do a good, healthy fall application where you rely on the upcoming rain that we're very hopeful will be plentiful to activate the product, begin to break it down, allow it to get in the root zone. Drip just does that partially. It's not, a problem. You could still apply our products in the middle of the summer even with drip, but you get a lot better immediate activation of the product by doing it in the fall. And that's what we're doing here at the zoo. And then we're hopeful that this Sunday and Monday, as predicted, we'll have ample amounts of water that will activate the product, begin to get it to go into the soil profile, and that's just perfect timing. All the products mentioned in this video can be found in the description below. So we're going to change it up away from the serious business of naming plants to a little more fun business of asking you, if you were a tree, which tree would you wish to be and why? And we will judge the answers based on creativity, and we'll pick our favorite and then reward you with some John and Bob's products. So to help you along, I am going to answer this first question very honestly, and then we'll put my answer. Maybe my answer will win. So if I were a tree, I would pick the valley oak, Quercus lobata. And just from appearance alone, it's very majestic, and as you can see here, that matches my majestic look. And it's also endemic to the valley of California. That means it occurs only one place in the world, just like me. And it's tough, it's long-lived, which I hope to be. Where so far I'm so young, we don't know, but in many ways, the valley oak is my idol. I would wish to be one, and we'll see what you can come up with. We'll let you know the winner in next week's video. Maybe you want to plant a tree in bad soil. I told you how to take bad soil with existing trees and improve it, but if you want to plant a tree in bad soil, check out our other video on how to plant a tree in clay soil.